Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my Christmas book haul. So I didn't actually receive any books directly for Christmas, but I was given money by my parents and my nan and my sister, and so I spent quite a bit of money on books myself with all that Christmas money. So I have 18 books here to show you that I purchased with my Christmas money. So just be warned, I'm probably going to use the word excited about 17 million times in this video because I'm really excited for all of these books basically. So let's just jump straight in and I'll show you what I got. The first book that I have here is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. I read this book back in December, you may know, and I absolutely adored it. I gave it 5 stars, but I had read it from the library, and I don't even think I had finished reading it, and I was already looking on Book Depository to see about ordering a copy, and I was kind of torn between 2 covers, and so I left it for a little bit to think on which cover I'd prefer to order. And then I was out doing some post-Christmas shopping with my nephew, and we went into QBD Books, and I saw this in the classics section for only $10, and this wasn't one of the 2 covers I'd been considering originally, but I don't mind this cover. It just kind of is showing the woods and the forest, which I don't mind this. It's the Penguin Classics edition, so I was really happy to get this for only $10. The next 4 books that I have to show you I picked up in Target using a gift card that I was given by my brother and his girlfriend. The first 2 that I picked up are The Good Girl and Pretty Baby, both by Mary Kubica, although look at the size difference in these 2 books. Like, one's really tall and wide and one's really small. These are both, I believe, psychological thrillers. I have heard good things about this author and I was interested in reading these, and they had a buy 2 get the 3rd one free deal going at Target, and so I was looking around, and these are 2 of the books that I picked up. And the 3rd book that I picked up on that trip in that buy 2 get the 3rd one free deal is The Lake House by Kate Morton. This book is by an Australian author. I believe it is a historical fiction. I don't know too much about it aside from that. This book has been really heavily advertised around in Australia, and I saw it there. I'd seen it a lot, but it was quite a good price just after Christmas, and it is a really thick, big book. So when it was only about $15, I thought that was a pretty good deal for a book this big, which I believe is an adult historical fiction, so I decided to pick this one up as well, and I'm always happy to support Australian authors. And the final book that I picked up from Target, which I actually picked up today on my lunch break with the remainder of my gift card, is Wolf by Ryan Groudon. I believe this is a historical fiction story told in an alternate 1956, I think it is, Germany, where the Nazis had actually won the war, and there is this girl, and she's part of a resistance movement or something like that she is trying to kill Hitler basically, and I believe she has to enter a motorcycle race, I've heard, to win the chance to get to meet Hitler so that she can kill him. This just sounds really interesting. I believe I was looking at the author's website today, and I believe this is the first book in what is going to be a duology, but I have heard really good things about this, so I was really excited to pick this one up. Now, all the remainder of these books I ordered from Book Depository, which is why I'm only just filming this Christmas book haul today, as the last of the books finally arrived today. So that was really exciting that they're all finally here and I can show them to you guys. So the first one that I got from Book Depository is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. This is the 3rd Morgan Matson book that I have owned. I haven't read any of them yet, but I wanted to own all her books so that I could read them in publication order. So I already have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour and Since You've Been Gone, so I'm really excited to get onto these and read some Morgan Matson this year. Next we have Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I'm sure you've all heard of this book. I have heard obviously a shit ton about it, and I have been so excited to pick this up for so long. It's been on my wish list on Book Depository for a while, but it was slightly more expensive than some other books, but I had a 10% off code, which I used to order a couple of books. like right after Christmas, before I kind of knew how much money I spent, so I only ordered about 4 books using that discount code, but this was one of them, and I'm so excited to pick this up because I just really think I'm going to enjoy this, and I really want to read this and see what I think of it so that I can maybe recommend this to some other people in my family, like my brother and stuff, who I think might enjoy it as well. Next, we have This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is the second book in what I believe is a companion trilogy. I got the first book, These Broken Stars, in either November or December, and I now have the second one as well. Next, we have Haze by Paula Weston. This is the second book in the Refame, I'm not sure if that's how you say that word. I believe that quartet, I don't know if it's called a quartet series. There's 4 books basically. This is the second one. I read the first book last year, Shadows, and if you saw my top 15 books of 2015, then you know that was my all-time favorite book that I read last year. So I cannot wait to get on and continue on with this series, and I hope that I love the rest of the series as much as I did the first book. Next, we have The Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, and Maureen Johnson. You may have seen that through a couple of different hauls last year. I hauled all of the Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I decided to pick up The Bane Chronicles as well so that I have this when I finish both of those 2 series to read through this as well, because I expect that I'm really going to enjoy those 2 series. I've mentioned before, I have read the first 3 books in the Mortal Instruments, but like a really long time ago, and I don't remember it that clearly, so it will be basically a new experience for me going in. So yeah, got this one. Next, we have another one that I'm so excited for, and that is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I read the entire Grisha trilogy in 2015, and I really enjoyed it, and I know that people have been saying this is even better than the Grisha trilogy. Like, people who actually didn't really enjoy the Grisha trilogy have been really enjoying this. I don't know too much about it except that it is a heist story, which I don't think I've ever really read any books that deal with heists, but I'm really intrigued by that and I do really want to read it. I ordered the hardcover of this because I wasn't sure if Book Depository would have the black pages, but it did come and it does have the black pages, so I was really excited. I really love that not only does it have the black pages like on the edges, but I don't know if you can see that it kind of bleeds onto the edge of the page a little bit, which I think looks really nice. And you probably saw the end pages are red, and under the dust jacket it's got the red spine. It also has the embossed bird here, I presume a crow, and yeah, I'm just really excited to get to this, and I hope that I love this as much as I did the Grisha trilogy, if not even more than the Grisha trilogy. Next, we have the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Oh, I am so excited to have this, so excited. I've been seeing this around obviously since it was announced that it was coming out basically, and I really wanted to pick it up, but it's like $60 in store here in Australia, and I couldn't justify spending $60 on one book no matter how much I wanted it. But with that 10% off code, and it was a bit cheaper on Book Depository, I actually got this for only about $37, which is still expensive obviously for a book, but I just couldn't pass up that deal, and because I had Christmas money, I decided to get it. And if you saw my 2016 goals video, then you know one of my goals is to reread the Harry Potter series this year. So I will be reading The Philosopher's Stone in this edition with the gorgeous drawings, and yeah, and then following on with the rest of the series. I have already flipped through and looked at some of the pictures in this, and they are just so gorgeous. Like, it actually, I just get so jealous of people who can draw this way, because I can't draw at all. So I get really jealous of these people, but I'm really excited to read Harry Potter in this new experience of the illustrated edition. Next, I have the Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I believe this is the first book in a trilogy. I'm not sure if it's just called the Across the Universe trilogy or if it's called something else, but I believe this is about a girl who is on a spaceship like in the future, and she's like kind of, I think, like frozen or whatever but she gets woken up like 50 years before she's supposed to be woken up, and then I think maybe people are dying on the spaceship, and it's a bit of a mystery. I'm not 100% sure, that could be totally wrong, but I've heard really good things about this trilogy, and so I decided to pick it up. Next, we have Shimmer by Paula Weston. This is the third book in the series, so I now only have to pick up the fourth book, which is really exciting, and as soon as I get that, I'm hopefully going to be powering through this series because I'm really excited to pick it up. Next, we have The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the sequel to the Raven Boys and the second book in the series. I got the Raven Boys for my birthday book haul. I haven't read it yet because I haven't got to any of those books for my birthday book haul because I'm awful human being, basically. But I'm really excited to get to that series. I've just heard nothing but good things about that series. Even people who didn't really enjoy it that much. The first book gave it like 3 stars, and then for the most part though, people really, really enjoy it, and I have heard quite a few people say that this is the best book in the series so far, and I know that the final book, The Raven King, comes out this year, I believe in April, so I'm really excited to get to this series as well because, as I said, I've heard really great things. Next we have Poison Study by Maria V. Schneider. This is the first book in what I believe is a trilogy, but I believe there are also spin-off series to this as well. I have heard, I think this was published quite a while ago, but I've heard things about it quite recently on BookTube, people really talking about this series and saying how great it is. I believe this follows a girl who is set to be executed or something, but she chooses instead, she can choose to become the king's like poison tester. So obviously that's like quite dangerous, but she can like study or whatever to look into poisons and stuff, and then may possibly live a longer life than if she's executed, obviously. So that's all I really know about it, but I've heard really good things, and so I picked this one up. Next, I have The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. When I very first heard about this book, it really, really appealed to me. I'm not sure why, because this is, I believe, is it an Arabian Nights or 1001 Arabian Nights retelling story? I'm not sure the exact title of the original story, which I have never read. I kind of know the story a little bit, but I've never read it or anything, so I'm not sure why this appeals to me so much. But when it first was kind of being talked about and people were mentioning the synopsis, I was just really into it. Like, it just sounded like something I would really enjoy. I'm a little bit disappointed with this edition. I don't particularly enjoy hardcovers that much, so I wanted to get the paperback, but I thought it was still going to be like have a flap and then it would like show through to like the girl under the little cutouts, but it's just, that's the cover, and then inside it's got the picture kind of the girl, but it kind of looks like a photocopy, like it's not that great of a picture inside. So I know that's a bit weird to me, but I am really excited to get to this, and I believe the sequel, in what I believe this is only a duology, and the sequel comes out this year as well, so I'm really excited to get to this one, as well as I am with all of these books, as I keep saying. And the final book I have in this Christmas book haul is The Merciless by Danielle Vega. This is, of course, yet another one that I'm really excited for. When I heard the synopsis of this mentioned, it just sounds really, really intriguing to me. I believe this follows a girl who befriends like popular girls at school. I don't know if it's like they're religious or something like that, but they decide to perform an exorcism on this other girl, but the exorcism seems to be a bit more like torture than an exorcism. I don't really know the details, but I'm excited to find them out, and I really like this book that it's like a hardcover, but it doesn't have a dust jacket, and then obviously it's pink, and you can see the like pentagram symbol on here, which is like shiny, and on the back it's just got "Forgive us, Father, for we have sinned." It's just a really gorgeous book. It does say in here, on the inside here, for mature audiences only, but I believe this is a YA book, so maybe just for like an older YA audience. It also has like the deckled edges, and it's just, I just really like the look of this book. I just think it's really gorgeous, so I'm excited to get to this one as well, of course. So those are the 18 books that I managed to pick up for Christmas. Thank you so much to my parents and my sister and my brother and his girlfriend and my nan and everyone who gave me money so that I could afford to buy these books, because I've been wanting a lot of these books for a really long time but just couldn't afford to buy them myself. So I'm so grateful that I was given that money so that I could afford to buy these books. I would love to know what you guys picked up for Christmas, or if you've read any of these and you have any thoughts, or you just want to chat down below in the comments. I would love that. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys.